Dexter, a newbie, that she's making some good noises. We're not sure if they're real. Congresswoman Bynum down in the 5th District, really don't know where she is, but my point here is we have to contact those people. Now is a critical time. We have critical things happening. We have the flotilla floating into the jaws of Israel. They need protection. All 500 on those boats need protection, not just Americans. To do that, we have to, but for America, Israel could not do what it has been doing. 70% of the munitions used against the Gazans are taxpayer funded by you and me. We have to get that point across. Enough is enough. Don't support AIPAC. Don't support Israel. Get away from it. I'm even suggesting that asking for a pledge that if I take anyone, for a thought, if I support Israel, if anybody supports Israel by taking one nickel from AIPAC or Israel, primary them. Get rid of them and go against them. That goes for Senator Wyden, that goes for Congresswoman Dexter and Congresswoman Bynum. Those are your targets. And as Sayed Qassim's going to say, we have other people to worry about too. But that's why it's an urgent meeting tonight. You're going to be given names and addresses and be asked to make phone calls. And after you go home tonight, keep it up. That kind of pressure is really building. There is a tidal wave growing against genocide. You think that you wouldn't need a tidal wave to be against it. Slow developing. But genocide is what we're going to try to stop. Try to get relief to these people in Gaza that are dying of starvation through these games that these humanitarian organizations set up by Trump and others play. So now is an urgent time, and that's my message. That's why this is an urgent meeting. Now is the time to act. And now a call tonight is 10 calls 2 years ago, 1 call tonight. The tide is moving in our direction. Seize the day or seize the night. That's my pep talk. Please do it. And I'm going to turn this over to from the state. Thanks, Tom.
Assalamualaikum, everyone. I want to start by thanking both Brother Brandon and Thomas for all their work, their advocacy, the information that they shared, some of the background about over the years, what it's been like, the many attempts with the flotillas to get aid into Gaza. Just this year, this is the 3rd attempt. And hopefully if everyone's been following, you know what has happened the previous 2 times, and which is why there is a greater sense of urgency in this moment to do what we can to make the necessary noise to protect those on the flotilla and protect those in Gaza and across occupied Palestine. I also want to thank Rachel for her words, for sharing the story, for again humanizing someone who is on the flotilla, connecting the dots that what is happening maybe far away from us is connected to us, is tied to us, and we cannot just sit here thinking that, hey, it's too far away from me and there isn't a lot that I can do about it. So thank you so much for sharing that. I really wanted to acknowledge that. I also wanted to start by thanking all of you for showing up. I'm going to confess here, I was speaking with Nadia earlier and I was like, oh, it might be a smaller turnout, given, as you heard, it took about 48 hours to put this together and get the word out. So thank you so much for proving me wrong and showing up and showing out. It matters deeply, so I really wanted to appreciate that. I also wanted to emphasize that while we haven't had the opportunity to have a Palestinian speak, we must do what we can to center Palestinian voices and narratives and do what we can to empower them in this. Whether it's the fight there or the fight here, or creating the level of awareness that is necessary that you have heard already being highlighted many, many times. So let's make sure we continue to do that work of centering Palestinians empowering them, making sure that we are listening to them and making appropriate space for them to be heard, to be seen, to be acknowledged, and to be validated in the fact that there is intentional erasure of their narratives, of their stories, of their struggles. And we must do more to amplify them. Thank you. I appreciate the little woman. I was also struggling and I was thinking about it, and you can see some of the names. Thomas highlighted some of the congressional delegation. And the thing to note is that it's not just about the leaders in Congress. It's not just about senators and congressmen. This is about leadership at the local level as well. For those who may not know, I am an elected official here in Beaverton. I serve on the Beaverton School Board. And yes, it is okay to acknowledge that I can take action in policy or in anything that might impact or change what Israel is doing in occupied Palestine. However, it is on all of us as community leaders, as elected officials, to do what we can to acknowledge this reality, to acknowledge that we have community members in this community who are actively and daily impacted by the atrocities being committed out there. Whether it's their family members who are being starved or have killed. We know Palestinians in this community who have lost over 500 family members or 700 family members. And those are, again, here. So for any local elected official, think city councilor, think board school member, think your county commissioners to say, hey, we have nothing to do with Israel and Gaza and there's nothing we can do so we don't have to hear you, it is wrong. It is morally bankrupt to do that, to say that, and to embody that as a value. So as you reach out and you talk to your federal delegation, make sure that those leaders, local leaders, also need to be held to account. And we are happy to share ways to reach out to them. And for those of you who are politically engaged and active locally, show up to city council meetings, show up to county commissioner meetings, show up to board meetings, provide testimony. Because what we need more of is to be louder. We need to be louder. We need to take space. We need to take space in recognizing these stories, these narratives of what's happening. And I hear that. I feel that it's scary. They want you to be quiet because they are going to persecute you. There might be loss, whether it's job or other privilege. You're going to feel setbacks in different ways. But look around you. Just look around in this room. You're also going to find community. You're also going to find ways to meet people who are feeling what you're feeling, who have the same level of empathy that you have, and who are constantly out there, day by day, individually battling the apathy that we experience around us. So please, I urge you to show up, to get involved, and to do what we can to, again, make the noise that's necessary, to take the space, and to amplify the narrative. So I'm going to focus on some of the calls to action. I've already amplified the call your representatives today, talking to city councilors, all of that, very important. And another benefit of doing that is it'll force you to engage. It'll force you to get comfortable with speaking the narrative, learning the facts, knowing how to communicate, knowing what needs to be said, knowing what is heard and what is dismissed, and again, become more effective. Because that's what we need. We all need to embody the spirit of being change makers. Again, one of the key demands right now in this urgent moment is to protect those on the flotilla as they now get closer to Gaza and are in endangered territories. We're fortunate that we've had some support from the government of Spain and Italy who have committed to providing some support, but we need more. We need so much more. So it's really important to get involved, invest in, know what's happening, stay plugged in, and again, continue to demand their safety. And if nothing else, this is a simple narrative. There are Americans on that flotilla. And as one of the most powerful countries with all of the bravado that we project here, it's important. It's important for us to lean into that and say, hey, we must do what we can to protect Americans if nothing else. So that's a simple narrative. nobody can denigrate it. There's nothing complicated about that. There's nothing nuanced about that. It is about protecting the lives, starting with Americans, but of course Palestinians and everyone over there that's impacted. We must continue to condemn Israel's unlawful blockade and then supporting legislation. So there is currently a bill in Congress, Block the Bombs, that is being co-sponsored by some members of Congress, and we're looking to get more support. Some of the people listed here, I think Maxine Dexter has just recently this week joined as a co-sponsor, along with other members of our congressional delegation. And that doesn't happen automatically. That isn't just they have an epiphany and they realize one day that they're on the wrong side and they're gonna do what they can to stop sending bombs to Israel. It took tremendous public pressure, organizing for people to show up, share their stories, get some noise in press, online, social media, in again all of those spaces to put the type of pressure that's necessary to move the needle and save lives right now. So again, asking them to support legislation is very important, and don't let any local elected official gaslight you into saying that they can't do anything or they have nothing to do with that. The least they can do is acknowledge their own constituents and their community members, and please, please, please demand that of them. Do not let them off the hook. And finally, stand for justice, human rights, humanitarian relief. Again, we know there's mass starvation in Gaza right now. It's going to take significant effort to undo the impact of it once we do get aid and everything in. So we must go above and beyond and be prepared to do everything we can to mitigate the harm that continues to be caused. So you see on the right, and I let Brother Brandon kind of highlight, I know we wanted to make it out, let's call them now party. So you see phone numbers on the right. Happy to pull up some more information about your local elected officials here in Washington County, City of Tigard, City of Beaverton, wherever you might be. You're not in Hillsborough. And again, there are some sample messages that you can leave around protecting Oregonians abroad, your constituents from harm by Israel, demand their safe passage, stop enabling collective punishment, push for accountability, supporting the ban on bombs. All of these are actions that we can take today. And as we, again, sit here with our privilege, we can, we should, and we must do more. So, I know I got a little heated there, but thank you. Please, let's mobilize, let's get involved. Okay.
There are other people, these are the people of the flotilla.
Yes. Just being reminded, so these are representatives for people, the two people on the flotilla right now, represent Maxine Dexter and Janelle Bynum. There are other congressional leaders that we also want to highlight that should be contacted. Oregon has 2 senators, those are both listed here as well. But there are definitely more. I think there might be some questions we can take, if that's okay. I can move the mic around, but thank you.